So mobility is changing in immense ways, and it's being driven completely by technology. So I think we're getting away from me, siloed technologies, individual vehicles, to we, very integrated systems. And that comes with a connected vehicle, the ability for vehicles to talk to each other and talk to infrastructure, the value and safety and just different attributes that will bring. That comes through autonomy, in terms of looking at vehicles, whether they're semi-autonomous or fully autonomous. And again, the tremendous benefit that will bring to a systemic model of mobility, as well as to the user in terms of being able to use something that is very much cheaper, much more efficient, and frankly much more safe. And then just looking at mass and task systems, mobility as a service, transportation as a service, being able to hail a vehicle that you can pay very little for relative to owning a vehicle, maintaining it. There's still going to be an intense desire for people who want to own their own vehicle. I'm from Detroit. I love my car. I love to drive. But the convenience that comes through those types of services, especially in dense urban centers, are just immense. So I think we've been transitioning to autonomy for some time, and traditionally I think what you've seen is that there's always a 10-year plan. In 10 years we'll be at that next step, and then next year it just so happens that it's kicked forward a year, and in 10 years we'll be there. We've come to a point now where we're really starting to chip away at getting to full autonomy. Semi-autonomous systems, cruise control, ability to actually have some component of autonomy but still being very active with the vehicle. We've had that for some time. I think getting to autonomous parking solutions, autonomous hailing solutions where the vehicle will come to you. We're getting to those in a very quick manner. But full autonomy, level 4, in which you actually can allow the vehicle to drive itself, or level 5 in which it can drive in any conditions, just not ideal conditions in western cities, for example, with good road signs and good roads. It's been one that we've been, again, going to for some time, but we're really at the precipice of an immense paradigm shift where full autonomy, systemic mobility is going to be something that's not just science fiction, but very much in the here and now. Well, I think that companies like Uber, like Lyft, you look at different geographic kind of champions for that service around the globe. What it means in many ways is they're going to be able to take a tremendous amount of cost out of their business. Now, that migration is going to be something that has to be very carefully executed, both in terms of the drivers that they're now employing, which are the backbone of their services, and for the consumer in terms of are they comfortable with an autonomous vehicle. But the cost that's associated with drivers is probably one of, if not the largest cost as it comes to that system. And so when you move to autonomy for systemic mobility companies, they will be able to provide much greater services at lower cost. And one of the biggest reasons for that is not just the fact that they're not paying drivers at this point, but they're able to use those vehicles 24/7. So think about utilization of vehicles. Right now, as we talked about today, we're seeing 5, 10, maybe 15% utilization. What we have the ability to do is go to 95, 100% utilization, cars that never stop moving, and that you're able to monetize all day long. You know, I think it's an immense opportunity for insurance. You look at companies like ZenDrive, for example. This is a company that's taking real-time data, not from the vehicle, not from an OBD2 port in terms of plugging in, but from your mobile device. And what does that mean? It means you have data in terms of hard stops, speeding, hard curves. But I also know the behavior of the user while those things are taking place. Are they texting? Are they on the phone? And the amalgamation of that data gives me a true optic of that driver. Are they safe? Are they not? What does that mean for fleets? What does that mean for individual drivers? If the OEMs themselves are actually collecting that data, how could they have the ability potentially to have their own insurance business? How do the insurers that are out there today, evolve and pivot with those types of new businesses coming in line? And how are they working with these young disruptors? I think one of the interesting things about when we look across the ecosystem in general is that the incumbents have, at this point, and this has happened over a number of years, a strategic approach. They're looking at this, I think, through the right lens. But there's also a tremendous amount of fear. And there's a tremendous amount of, what if we don't do the right thing? What do we do? Because frankly, we haven't invested in technology. Those individuals need to be thinking very hard about partnerships, about acquisition, about building organically teams in their companies which are taking the best and brightest to take advantage of an immense opportunity that is insurance, but understanding how it's going to be utilized in the years to come.